I've always bought into the idea of a simulated universe. I can't come up with any counter-evidence other than it seems like it isn't so. In fact, some of my favorite philosophers, such as Hilary Putnam, Immanuel Kant, and George Berkeley, were all idealists to some degree. Essentially, an idealist believes everything can be broken down to mental components. I bought into the physicalist movement for some time that everything was ultimately physical, including thoughts and consciousness. In some ways, they're really the same, but conventional thought has us believing the dualist model, where there's both a physical and a mental reality. But to me, that seems the most irrational. It may please our sensations, but on what plane could they even interact? I have a harder time trying to find evidence to support that. I think it is either all physical or all mental, but consciousness has a stronger presence, which means that makes me lean towards being all mental. It also solves the something from nothing beginning for the simulation we exist in anyway. It is almost more comforting to say, okay, something exists outside of our simulation, but it is preposterous to even attempt at describing it. Also, how can the theory of evolution account for the origin of life when we learn biogenesis is false? I cannot help but come to the only conclusion that we live in a simulation. We try to describe it now, and it comes up in themes like the Matrix and computer games, but that is just how it is most easily explained in our time. Hilary Putnam described it as we are all brains in vats. Plato had his ideas of the allegory of the cave, where we only see reality as prisoners viewing the shadows cast on the walls from outside of our prisons. And in a lot of ways, the Judeo-Christian Islamic belief is more consistent with this, but they pull the dualism out of nowhere, and that is how they've ended up opening Pandora's box. I find it difficult to accept there are both separate mental and physical realities interacting with each other. I'm okay with a multi-layered universe in which we are amidst infinite realms, but if we could interact with them, why would we stop at two, as the dualists have us believe?